Call the meeting to order at 2:01 p.m. Let's take roll.
Davis. Here. Jimenez. Present. Kame. Here. Foley.
Here.
Cohen.
Foley, come on.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, let's start with the
Bien, vamos a
amended
comenzar
agenda
con
for
Rapidillo.
Tuesday. Oh, sorry, there's an audio issue, I think. Echoing. Somebody's Zoom is not muted. Okay, we'll start with the agenda for Tuesday, October 3rd, 9:30 closed session, 1:30 regular session, and no evening session. So we start with ceremonials on page 5 and consent on page 6, 7, and 8. Page 10 is section 3.3, amendment to Title 4. Next page, 3.4, bid for computers and servers. 3.5, recommend deferral. And section 4, rearrest of high-risk individuals, 4.1, 4.2 deferred. And 6.1 on page 13. This is the municipal utility discussion that was deferred from last month. Page at the bottom of the page, 8.1, San Pedro Street Pedestrian Mall, and 8.2, which is scheduled to be heard immediately after consent, is a tax-exempt multifamily housing revenue bond. And it looks like that is it. So we'll go to public comment first.
Blair.
All right, Blair Beekman here to speak on item 8.1. You had a similar item a few weeks ago on how, the areas around San Pedro are doing. And I wanted to voice my public voice on the item, at San Pedro and, the little alleyway between First and Market. that you have these huge new blockers up there that are meant as kind of emergency blockers by, federal and state agencies. They're kind of offensive. They're a bit fearful. I don't think they promote kind of like local neighborhood safety. I mean, I know you want to do something safe and want to create something, and they're good temporary blocking measures, but they just have an air about them that are just uncomfortable and remind the concepts of war and that we're in kind of like a terrorist zone almost. And it shouldn't have to be like that. So I wanted to mention it at this time, and I hope you can work on it to replace these blockers for the alleyways and find new blockers. Thank you.
Back to the committee.
All right, and we have an ad sheet, so maker of the motion, please include that.
Move approval, including the ad sheet.
Second.
All right, any other questions about the agenda? All right, let's move to a vote.
Should I made the motion since I'm the beneficiary of the ad sheet?
It's fine.
I just noticed that was what the ad sheet was.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, the motion carries 5-0. Oh,
Did I vote? Yes.
Yeah,
the motion,
everybody voted.
motion carries 5-0. It's so automatic now, you don't even know you voted. Okay, so now we're on to, we have no agenda, we have no meeting on October 10th, so we are on to our consent calendar. I'll go to public comment on that. Seeing no public comment, we'll come back to the committee.
Move approval.
Second.
All right, let's vote. All right, motion carries 5-0. So we're on to item C, which C1 is a memo related to the creation of a city council policy for uniform transitions during changes in elected officials. Let's have, did we have somebody here from Councilmember Dewan's office?
He's in the back.
I thought I saw somebody.
He's in the back.
Oh, okay. Well, if he's, okay, we'll go to, I guess we'll go to public comment then.
No hands raised.
Oh, no hands raised. Okay. Do we want his staff here? Hopefully he's listening and he'll come back out.
Councilmember Dewan was here. I'm just saying this out loud in case he's in the back, that we're ready to hear his item.
I don't think it's on back there.
Okay, I'll run back there. Oh,
All right, Councilmember Dewan, get in the box and share the details of your memo with us.
Good afternoon, our fellow council colleagues. Since January of 2023, my office have dealt with several issues that made constituent communication difficult and impossible at times. When I was elected, the former council member refused to meet for a transition meeting, refused to surrender password for account associated with District 7 at sanjoseca.gov email. At this time, I'm still unable to communicate with resident via Facebook. 9 months, mind you, 9 months into my term. Any attempt of restoring the account or creating a new page is flagged immediately as impersonation. Additionally, for several months, our office was denied access to the D7 mailing list, using news for CRM, newsletter, and more. Only gaining access after the IDT team worked tediously to unlock the MailChimp account. The city attorney, IDT, the city clerk have been instrumental in coming to our aids, but we are still working toward a resolution. The goal of this recommendation is to ensure that all council offices have a seamless and uniform transition for the benefit of our constituent. This memo was crafted with the input from the City Attorney Office, City Manager Office, the Clerk's Office, and IDT, all signing off on the recommendation language. This memo authorized staff to study and evaluate the feasibility of a council policy that would ensure our residents are always able to communicate with their representative, and that taxpayer funded asset stay with the city council office during transition of elected official. And I'm here before you as your colleague 9 months into my term, and I'm unable to communicate via Facebook. And I want to say thank you for your consideration regarding this memo. I'm here and available for question as needed.
All right, thank you. Lee, you have an early consideration form.
We do. The early consideration form is a green form, and we can start looking into these things if the Rules Committee would like us to. I would ask for flexibility on the time of 90 days. We feel this would be more appropriate if there were changes needed to do that before the next transition, though.
All right, thank you. Let me go to my no hands. Oh, Councilmember Jimenez.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to move to approve this and get it going because I think it's important. I certainly didn't experience what you experienced during the transition. One of the questions I have, so I know Councilmember Dwan, you said a few times that it's been 9 months. Why did it take so long to submit something to us to try to get this going? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, we try to exhaust every possible avenue. Yeah. And we are at the end of our process, and we need to take some type of action at this point.
Okay, all right.
I believe in the system. I believe in the city attorney. I believe in our IDT. We all try our best, and at this point, we exhausted everything that we can do.
Okay, very good. So I'll move to approve.
Second.
Councilmember or Vice Mayor Kamei.
One of the things that city manager representative said is that, you know, before the next election, are you okay with that?
I would hope that we do it faster than the next election. I think it's if we move it a little quicker to get this situation resolved, and if there's any nuance that need to be resolved prior to the next election, it would be wise to get it done earlier. That's all.
Yeah.
But I do understand that you know, city staff needs the time in order to vet this out.
Yeah, I guess, you know, it's understandable sooner rather than later, but to allow for the flexibility, I think, is what I heard. Is that correctly?
I think we would like some flexibility from what my limited understanding of this issue and what I got from the council members' remarks is the MailChimp situation has been worked out so that the council office can start to communicate out to that degree, and that's unfortunate that it's taken that long. I will say I think the social media thing is very complicated. I think, you know, there's federal and state law that haven't really weighed in. My limited exposure to working with Facebook and Instagram is frustrating. And I think from what I understand from our team is, you know, sometimes as an elected official comes in, that's their personal account. And while they're an elected official, they may change the name to Council Member District, you know, 2 or whatever it may be. And so after office, does that person still assume that count because that's their personal account with pictures of their kids or whatever? Or did the office specifically create a District 2 account? I don't know the answers to those, But I know in working with the social media companies thus far, it's been extremely complicated for a lot of other government institutions, not just us.
I see.
And given the focus that this committee has asked us to have around certain things, I would just ask for flexibility, because I don't know that that'll be an easy 90-day situation versus having IT staff and others work with the District 7 office to create a new Facebook account or whatever. So it could be relatively straightforward, but I don't know that it would be.
Thank
That's
you.
my concern.
Thank you.
Well, given the complexity of this situation, you know, if needed, the flexibility, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll start with a comment, just to ask the maker of the motion to change the language to say, to evaluate in their work plan in the next year, so that for the next transition, these concerns are addressed, as opposed to approving the memo with the 90-day language in it. Is that okay to the maker of the motion?
Yeah, I just thought, yeah, I agree with it. I just thought it was sort of embedded, given the fact that, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
fine.
mean, I just to make sure it's in the language in the memo. Says.
And just to clarify, the team will continue to work with the council member and his office in parallel while we're doing this. It's not like we're going to do the policy and then turn our attention. Obviously, we have an elected official that we depend, all of us, you guys on the council and us as staff, for him to be able to communicate with his district. So we'll be working with him in parallel to figure these things out while we look at an overall policy.
Right, this is about overarching policies, not about the individual needs of any office. You okay with the seconder with that change in language? Yeah, okay. You were the seconder, right? I have a couple questions and comments too, though. I want to ask, I don't know, Rob, if you're the one here to, or somebody from IT is here to to answer this question. There's a process in place right now, I think, about potentially adopting a CRM for council offices that will be standardized. It's been a frustration for all of us about the lack of standardization as we come in and we try to communicate with our constituents. That leads to this issue, and I would argue, by the way, for example, that it's much easier not to try to take over a MailChimp account, but to close down a MailChimp account and open a new one, because two-factor authentication, when an office opens it, their staff is using it, there's multi-factor authentication, it leads to the inability for a new person to even be able to get into the account, and that's why IT has to get involved in trying to go to the company and getting it and working around that. But you know, when we came in, I guess we were fortunate we had the list that we could then upload into a new system, and we created a new account. We didn't expect that the old account would be accessible to us, because that's the way these third-party systems work. But if we had a standard CRM system that were available to us, then it would be something that would belong to the office and be transitioned. That is in the works, right? No, it's not on.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah. All right, cool. Correct, Chair. There are plans that IT had from about 2 years ago, including a position that Council created to work with offices about those needs and to get consistent systems and transition support and other things. So these are contemplated. The language actually is also in some existing policies that we updated. So your memory is correct that we've been shaping towards this. We still have to hire the position, we still have to do the work, and connect it with things like SJ311 and other systems. So there's still a lot there to do, but you've correctly identified the plan that we shared a little over a year and a half ago. So
it seems to me that we don't want to necessarily go down a path of creating this other procedure while we're doing what I think is the right long-term approach, which is building this uniform CRM that's available to all council members. So I just want to make sure that this isn't going to interfere with that.
And Jim Bursig, our assistant CIO, will share too. Correct, though, when we have new council offices, they often want to try something. So yes, mainstream systems that are there for them, but also support for the extra tools and outreach and engagement items that they often bring to with their hopes when they come into office.
Right, and that kind of is my next point, that we often do want to customize our own things and create our own. That doesn't mean that that's necessarily set up for the following office. It's our own communications approach as an office. So go ahead.
Yeah, that's correct, Chair. Thank you for the comments and the question. Yeah, we are looking to, institute an enterprise content relationship management system. As Rob said, we've got to go ahead to recruit for the position for that, and we believe that will bring streamlined processes and practices here to the city. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And we don't necessarily have a timeline. We don't, that sounds like from what you're saying, that won't necessarily be ready for the next transition.
Yeah, hiring first, and then we'll have the capacity to focus on those things.
Okay.
And also, as Lee brought up, this is why there's some complexity in this policy. We need to consider aspects like the CRM system in this as well, and what systems it would replace for council members.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So just to give a little context on the social media, I mean, again, Lee pointed out some things about social media that are very different, and I know different offices have different levels of understanding and expertise about how to use social media and how that works, but I know we have a new council member now, I won't name names, but who is using their personal social media account and has repurposed it for the purpose of being on council, but doesn't intend to then deliver that ownership to the city. That I believe was what happened to the predecessor of Councilmember Dewan, personal account, who then transitioned it to be an official account during the period of time, and you know, potentially, I mean, stopped using it as far as I know after terming out of office, but still owns it and has no obligation to turn that over to the city. So I want to be very careful about that. My predecessor created an account that was generic and did not turn it over to us, so we created a new account, and I was different. I created a separate social media account from my personal one with the intention that it would stay with the city because I thought that was the right thing to do, but I had no obligation to do that, and I just, you know, I think social media is a different thing. We can find ways to create our own personalized office accounts, political accounts, personal accounts, and figure out how we want to balance all of those things on social media. Given that there's 4 platforms and multiple ways to use social media, it'll be very hard, I believe, for us to create a process by which there's a social media account that is somehow completely usable by the council office but owned by the city. Because in order to use it, you have to have all the authentication and access to the site. So I just want to be careful about what we're leading this to say and what our expectations are, and also the implication, sort of what's implied in the memo, that there was some nefarious behavior around social media access that I don't think occurred. The other thing is that this talk about all of the standardized sites with .gov and all those things, many of our offices decide, you know, go outside and create customized sites that are not in some standard format that the city offers. Apologies, I think the city's offering is a little limited, so we create outside sites. So I also want to make sure we're not going to put in place a policy that hamstrings an office from being able to use expertise that an office may have to do something a little different or personal while in office. But it doesn't necessarily require that that site gets transferred. The new office should come in and craft their own site. Now URLs can be owned by the city when they're purchased, which is what we did with the city purchased the URL we're using. But again, we have to be cautious because of all the multi-factor authentications and things. It's really hard to do a seamless transition when somebody leaves office and a new person comes in. So I just wanted to be clear that these are not, it's not as straightforward as saying, let's create a whole bunch of sites. Anyway, you're nodding. I don't know what you think about all that commentary.
And just one clarifier, this is as a council policy, most of the ownership and process that we instruct staffs and departments to do is already written. This is where council says what you're agreeing to hold each other to, so we would have to come back to you and say where those lines are, and council policy has to be something that you accept because it's council governance. And then along with those things, there is the law, the new bill that looks like it's going to pass related to .gov domains and required use of that for official city business. So related to your points, we'll have to figure out where that line is. But it's the right time to do so, especially with that bill.
Right, so I think, you know, I'll support the memo in the spirit of the memo of, you know, figuring out where are the areas where we do need some consistency and standardization, and what can the city own and what can the city not own, or how can that work technically, but not necessarily directing that all these things are going to end up in that final policy because of the complications that are around the use of these systems. So that's kind of the spirit with which I will vote yes on the motion. So thank you for your answering the questions.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? All right, if not, let's move to a vote. All right, motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember. Now we're on to open forum.
Paul Soto. Paul Soto. All right, moving on to Blair Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman. Hopefully my audio will be good and not disconnected. Hopefully my microphone is good too. Speak right into the computer. I hope the Lahaina area and the county of Maui and Hawaii will want to consider and possibly begin to better follow how the state of California and its local communities, including San Diego, Santa Rosa, Napa County, Paradise, in Northern California, and cities in the SFA area are all trying to better learn from their own previous mistakes, both accidental and on purpose, from the past decade in local natural disaster preparedness and planning. A good luck in how current practices of well-established good human rights, community participation, and planning can be of help for the future rebuilding effort of Lahaina, and that rebuilding can have a major focus in the traditional practices of the indigenous population and their important role within the Hawaiian Islands. And as current good human rights practices and more comprehensive planning ideas are also better developing at the local level at this time, with good intentions that specifically not cause harm to everyday persons and local community decision making as well. This can perhaps add to an already important dialogue and steps taking place at this time and how to help more easily return to the initial indigenous cultures of this country. Thanks a lot for the meeting today. I guess that's about all for myself. I've been trying to say these words for the past 3 meetings now this week. Thanks that I've been able to finish. Thank you.
Back to the committee.
Okay, thank you. We are adjourned at 2:25 p.m.